One of the realities of life is that you're constantly tinkering with and learning new things. Doing the videos that I have been doing over the course of time, I'm a little over 300, almost into a year of doing various videos. All of them for the Daily Summation, or almost all of them for the Daily Summation. One day I did two because I felt it was pretty important that I do a second segment. But one of the things about it is it's a learning experience, and I'm working on that learning experience as we speak at this moment in time. So I'm learning how to adjust video and so forth. I bought a new camera and I'm working on adjusting video and a new recording device, and I'm working on figuring out how to make that work its best, all the while keeping my other equipment working like it needs to work. So you're going to have to forgive me if you sort of look at the quality of my video from time to time and you see differences, some things that I'm getting better and some things that I'm getting worse, that hopefully I'll continue to improve on all of. So let me just start out with that. Alright, so I wanted to talk today on a subject of changing minds on the Daily Summation from Kurt's Religion and Politics. I'm your host, by the way. I'm Kurt. Today is Sunday the 11th of July of 2021. Thank you for everyone who's here on Rumble, on the podcast, on YouTube, or wherever you happen to be joining me from. Remember, I prefer Rumble for a number of reasons, not the least of which being censorship that I see occurring on YouTube and the fact that I'm not really keeping up on the podcast at this point in time. So I'm trying to keep the Rumble production going and hopefully get back to the place where I'm doing the podcast. I still do the YouTube, but I don't get as much of a chance to do with it what I'd like to. Today we're going to talk again on the Tim Pool video that we talked about yesterday a little bit. I know a lot of you probably don't really know what Tim is doing, and that's fine, but I'm going to go ahead and read my notes so you'll have some idea. It was on Tim Pool's video, and I said this: when some entity acts badly, if they decide to straighten up and fly right, do you continue to disparage them? I've been a daddy for some years now, more than 30 to be precise. Not super precise, but precise, right? I'm not saying I never dressed any of my children down. I did, I have. I almost always regretted it, I'll let you know that. That said, it almost always works best to applaud when they act in good and appropriate ways, and in an understated way, typically, to say you're not doing good when they're not acting in those ways, and to give them reasons. There's an expression you'll sometimes hear used: I just can't win. More often than not, this is an expression of frustration over the fact that people will not acknowledge when others act in good ways, choosing instead to look at their failures alone. And you know, if you think about it, you'll know of people that this has been done to. When anybody, and yes, that includes folks like police officers, are consistently talked down to, some will continue to work to do good. Others will take to heart what they hear. I get being upset with folks who behave badly. I still don't think it's beneficial to trash them for it. More importantly, as I said yesterday, where many folks may choose to do wrong, others don't in those same groups. When you smear an entire subgroup of the population, what do you expect as a result? What would you expect as a result? Okay, there's my notes. That's what we're going to talk about today. Look, whether you're right or wrong about the fact that some people have misbehaved in the past, one of the things that people have a problem with where cancel culture is concerned is that people continue to smear folks or to talk down to folks or to disparage folks even after they decide that they're going to do right. This is a problem. This is a major problem. And here's the thing. Like I say, some part of that group, when you disparage the group as a whole, you're going to be disparaging people who never did what you said. They didn't do the thing that you're saying is wrong. Maybe the majority did. I can't answer for that. I'd have to look at the statistics to see what I came to as a conclusion. But what I will say to you is this: even the ones that you're disparaging who actually did wrong will probably behave more reasonably if they are viewed in a positive light. That doesn't mean you take the thing that they did wrong and say, oh, that's wonderful. It means you say, I see that you did this good thing, or I think that you could do this good thing to make people have a better outlook about you and so forth. I think that this is a way better way to deal with people for the most part. Look, I get it. Sometimes you have to punish people for doing wrong. Sometimes you just have to, and it's not really an option, right? Partially because they did such egregious wrong that they have to be dealt with. That's understandable. That's we get it. But on the other hand, I honestly believe that typically the way to get people to behave in positive ways is to reinforce when you see them behaving in positive ways. I know it worked that way for me as a young man. I know it did. Right? And I'm pretty sure I'm not alone in that. I'm pretty sure you're going to find most people that's true for. So my attitude, my perspective is people, we need to start actually building folks up and working towards getting them to understand what's good, what's right, and what's proper. We need to stop working in terms of, oh, you're wrong, oh, you're terrible, right? And we need to stop thinking that we're going to do things like I say, like defund the police and things of that sort, and have better things. Tim Poole, I'm talking to you. You can ignore me, but you can hear me. I recall you saying the last thing we need to do is defund the police, and I think you're right. Maybe you've changed your mind on that. I don't know. But my attitude about it is, I recall you saying we need to pay for more programs, do better training, if anything. And you're right. I couldn't agree more with that sentiment. Look, I'm not getting any younger, and I'm watching as people who don't get the kind of training that they need lots of places fumble their way through workplaces because other people haven't taken the time to help them to get a leg and a maybe even a good way up on the stack that they're having to deal with. So they fumble and try and work, and sometimes they get discouraged. And it's my opinion that if you take the time to give people the stuff that they need, it will help them to be better. Now, maybe for some of them, they already were getting that. I can't say for sure. For others, I think, though, that there's a good chance that they need help to make their lives, their world, better. Okay? And I think that that's going to take look, I'm a firm believer in the idea posited by a lot of folks that says that in the education communities there's a tendency to say throw money at it, it'll be better. No, I'm not saying throw money at it. I'm saying make it your business to find ways to help other people to improve their lot in life. This is what I'm trying to get forward. I'm not trying to say, oh, more money is necessarily the answer. I'm trying to say we need to think about what we're doing, and we need to find better solutions to those things that we're doing so that as a result of what we do, we end up with people who are more able, who are better prepared to deal with their worlds. And I think we'll end up with a much better bunch of situations as a result of that. I saw a video just today in which a police officer was basically trying to get ID from a guy who lived at a house, who said, I live at this house, and I had no reason to believe that there was any call-in or anything like that on the guy. Maybe there was, and that's a problem. That's potentially a problem, right? But my point is, if there wasn't, certainly he should not have been asking the guy for ID. My answer to that is, particularly when the lady walks out from the background, ask the lady, is this guy with you? And when she says, or is this his house or whatever, and when she says, yup, walk away. Just walk away. More training, better training, maybe not even necessarily more, maybe just better training. And that goes just as well in police academies and police training as it does in local elementary and high schools. This is an important thing to realize. Okay, I'm running myself out of time talking here, so I'm going to try and shut things down. This is the Daily Summation from Kurt's Religion and Politics. I'm your host. I am Kurt. Today is Sunday, the 11th of July of 2021. That means tomorrow will be Monday, the 12th of July of 2021. Today is the beginning of the week for most Christians. Tomorrow will be the beginning of the work week for many individuals. Today's, thank you for everyone who's been here on Rumble, on the podcast, on YouTube. Remember, YouTube is my preferred platform. You can give me a a positive rumble on, if I said Rumble is my preferred platform, if you can give me a positive rumble on Rumble, you can give me a negative rumble there if you feel the need to. You can also comment on my videos there. You can give me a like, dislike, or you can leave a comment on my YouTube videos as well, and a like and dislike or thumbs up and thumbs down. Today we've been talking about changing minds, and tomorrow we're going to be talking about, can I be a tree? This is one that I think a lot of people have discussed a lot of different ways, but I think I might be able to add a thing or two that I hope may be helpful to people who are looking into this idea. Hope you're doing well today. Hope things are going well for you, and hopefully we will see you again on tomorrow's edition of the Daily Summation. The speaker on this edition of the Daily Summation is Kurt Schubert. This video was recorded on Sunday, July the 11th of 2021. The Daily Summation is created for Kurt's Religion and Politics. Thanks for watching this edition of the Daily Summation from Kurt's Religion and Politics. I hope you found it entertaining or instructional, or maybe both. If you want to see more from me, you can go to blogs.kpschubert.com. That's blogs.kpschubert.com. I am on Twitter, Parler, and Minds.com. My handle on each of those is @kpschubert. That's @kpschubert. I have a Rumble and a YouTube channel. They are the Kurt's Religion and Politics channels on Rumble and YouTube. I have a Facebook page. The Facebook page is Kurt's Religion and Politics as well. I am on Patreon. If you want to support me, that's one of the better places you can do that. And you will find me at Kurt's Religion and Politics on Patreon. I have a podcast. The podcast is podcasts with an S, .kpschubert.com. That's podcasts.kpschubert.com. I think you should be able to find me with relative ease on Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, and Spotify as well. The best way I find to do that is to look for Kurt's Religion and Politics. You can try to use the Daily Summation. I find that it doesn't work as well as a general rule, but you can always try that. I'm glad to have you aboard today, and hopefully we will see you again tomorrow.